Hello, Lions fans, and welcome to episode 67 of Just Lying Around, Detroit Lions podcast presented by the World of Football. I'm your host. I'm not Donald J. Trump, but I am Kyle Sutherland, and I am joined by my co host and brother in law, Adam Snow. Um, Adam, you got a sweet jacket there.
Thank you.
How do you feel
Costco
about this
special.
game?
It felt nice to get the win. Felt right. The Lions came out from the jump and just pounded the rock. They did everything they needed to do. They pretty much controlled this game, or commanded it, if you will. I think they did an outstanding job today. A couple little hiccups here and there, but they pretty much did what they needed to do. We figured they needed to come and get this win. They came in and got that win. And let's talk about it.
Yep. We're gonna go over the Lions versus Commanders game. Then look ahead at Week 11 game against the Philadelphia Eagles here. But before we jump to all that, gonna really quick talk about the trade deadline that happened. Was it last week? I believe.
Or what didn't? Or you just want to complain about what didn't happen for Detroit? Is that what's happening?
So, anyways, so we were all hoping Brad Holmes would make a move for a offensive lineman or defensive end, but ended up Detroit Lions didn't do anything. I don't know if they just couldn't get a deal done or if another team was asking too much. So this is the team we have right now, and hopefully the offensive line stays healthy. There are a lot of oh crap moments today, especially with Sewell going down. Ended up being okay, so luckily nothing major happened there.
Right.
But besides that, let's jump into this game, shall we? So we had Detroit Lions 44, Washington Commanders 22 overall. Detroit Lions, like you said, dominated this game. I mean, they went 8 of 8, did not have to punt once. Commanders, on the other hand, just sloppy play by them. Backup quarterback. So there's that. So let's jump into some stats real quick, and then we'll give our thoughts about this game as a whole. We have Jared Goff, 25 of 33, 320 yards, 3 touchdowns. The running game finally back with Jahmyr Gibbs, 15 carries, 3 receptions for 172 yards total, 3 touchdowns. We had Jamison Williams out of nowhere. Like John Morton said last week, we need to get him involved more. Well, he had 6 receptions for 119 yards and 1 touchdown. And Amon-Ra St. Brown, 5 receptions for 58 yards and 1 touchdown. Commander side, we had Marcus Mariota, 16 22 for 213 yards and 2 touchdowns. And Ja'Cory Kroske Moret, 11 carries for 30 yards with a 2.7 average. So Lions, even though during the game it kind of looked like they couldn't stop the run, but they actually were doing pretty good with that, stopping the Commanders from running the ball. Let's talk about some team stats real quick. Total yards, Lions 546 total yards, Commanders 288 yards. Passing yards, Jared Goff 320, and Commanders side 195. Rushing yards total for the Lions, getting back to where they need to be, 226 yards, and Commanders only 93 yards. First down for the Lions 30 and Commanders 14. And sacks allowed. This is a big stat here. Because last game, Jared Goff got lit up left and right. 5 sacks total last game. This game, he had 0 sacks, looked pretty comfortable in that pocket. And Commander's side, they allowed 2 sacks on their side. And penalties. Lions, very disciplined, only had 3 penalties. And Commander's side, which we will talk about, I don't know what their problem was, but they had 8 penalties total on their side of our 61 yards total. But yeah, that is the stats there. So, Adam, you want to add anything, or shall we give our overall thoughts of the game?
Look, to throw back up, the 546 total yards is absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah.
I think they had the stat up at the end of the game. I don't know if you were at that point when the backups were in and they flashed that stat. If you just wander off and don't watch the game, but I'm pretty sure the stat was the Lions have done it 7 times since 2022. The next closest team has done it 4 times. That was Miami, and I think Baltimore were tied for the next most 500-yard games. So the Lions, it was cool to get back on track. And the thing that went under the radar that when I went to social media during the game, outside of a couple other things that happened during this game, but the one I want to talk about first is Dan Campbell taking over the play calling. Supposedly.
Yep.
Apparently. He's probably talking at the podium like right this second. I saw their press conferences going live. So
No, it was confirmed he was doing the play calling.
So that was something I didn't expect this week. And it shows. I remember back in 20, what was it, his first season? So that was what, 2020? The 2020 season?
Yeah. Yep.
2020, 2021, whatever his first season was.
2021, I think.
Okay, well, his first season when he took over play calling duties on the back half of the year, and that's kind of when the Lions started putting some stuff together. Their old offensive coordinator, who used to be the Chargers head coach there for a sec. I can't even remember his name now at the top of my head, but he was relieved of his play calling duties, and then he obviously left after that season was over, and then we got Ben Johnson in. But Dan Campbell can call some plays, and he knew what this team needed to get this game done. And I hope John Morton was sitting there taking notes, because even Dan Campbell had his glasses at the end of his nose like this, looking at his Applebee's menu there during the game. And I just thought, I don't know, I couldn't tell if he was trolling John Morton or what, because I can't say I've ever seen Dan Campbell wear glasses. And the one time he does, there at the end of his nose, looking at the play sheet, looking at the field, like John Morton up there in the booth when they cut to him. So the play calling was absolutely phenomenal. There was a couple plays, where I think the Commanders sniffed out a couple of what the Lions were trying or wanting to do, but at the end of the day, the Lions took what they wanted. They got the right looks they wanted. Goff seemed to have audibled into a few definitely great spots, because I think he had the touchdown pass to Gibbs, which mirrored that 4th down touchdown on was it the Vikings game or Packers game last year, where Gibbs just angled in for a 4th down touchdown. It's like it was the exact same play, and Gibbs in again for a touchdown. What a day for Gibbs! 3 touchdowns, absolutely awesome. Helped my fantasy team out, and Jameson Williams having a fantastic game. And thank you, owner Grand Poobah of the World of Football in the chat. Campbell's first season was 2021. Thank you for the fact check. So I'm just this was a good performance. I didn't think it was in jeopardy at any point. I thought the Commanders had a couple of nice plays though. Mariota put the ball in a couple real good spots, and Deebo Samuel made like a fantastic catch. Ertz made a great catch at one point. So it's not like they were talentless, but if they would have had Jaden Daniels, this would have been a different game for sure. And that's who I wanted. I wanted to play Jaden for a little revenge, but you play who's in front of you. Lions took care of a not 100% Commanders team and did it in front of the President of the United States. So there you go.
So yeah, like you said, Dan Campbell was actually calling the plays. If you watch the game, you could see they kept going up to the booth where John Morton was, and you could tell he wasn't calling anything because he just sit there and look at his play sheet as well. But Dan Campbell they did a soundbite interview during the game, and Dan Campbell said that this was something they wanted to try out, but everyone is still involved in everything. So I don't know, because the last time when Dan Campbell took over, the old offensive coordinator, before Ben Johnson, was kind of let go.
Right.
1 or 2 games after that, I believe.
He played. I'll look him up. Keep going.
Yeah, but I don't see John Morton getting fired. I think
no.
They're gonna still work it out. I think this was kind of a teaching lesson for John Morton on what Dan Campbell expects from this team, and what good good play calling can happen for this team and what they can do with that. So, yeah,
Real, real quick. So it was Anthony Lynn
Anthony
was
Lynn,
the
there you go.
offensive coordinator. Yep, he was the former Chargers head coach. He was just in Detroit for that one season. When the year we went 3-13-1. Yeah, he was part of that coaching staff all season. He wasn't let go till the end of the year. But I remember, around that Vikings game is when Campbell took over the play calling. Might have even been that Pittsburgh Steelers game that we tied was the one I think I remember Campbell taking over some play calling, and that's kind of where things started tipping in the other direction. So
Yeah, I I think Dan Campbell's gonna probably call a couple more games here. I'd imagine he's gonna call that Eagles game, and maybe the Giants game he might hand it back over to John Morton. We'll have to wait and see on that. So that's something we got to look out for. But
that'll be interesting. If it were me, I think this is a 1 week experiment where Campbell just shows Morton like, look, this is what we got to do. And with the Eagles coming up, I think he gives it back to Morton next week. We'll see. Maybe you're right. Maybe he'll stay on duty. But like he said, if everybody's still involved, I think it's just a matter of maybe Campbell just wanting to feel the game out more. Maybe Morton just needs to watch how Campbell does the game, how Campbell wants the game run. We'll see. I trust Dan Campbell. If he thinks it's going to work, I'm down for
yeah,
whatever he's willing to do. So
yeah. I mean, I would prefer Dan Campbell to call the plays during the Eagle game, especially at the Eagles stadium, and when they come back home with the Giants, let John Morton take over then. So the offense when they're on the field isn't loud. It's quiet. They can think and stuff like that. So we already talked about the offense. Pretty stellar performance there. 8 of 8, getting everyone involved, the run game involved, uh, even getting JMO involved too. Amon-Ra St. Brown. I don't know what's going on with him. He's getting a couple drop passes here and there. It's not like him to do that. So that's nothing to worry about. He'll clean
not
it
worried
up.
about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, not worried about it. What I am worried about is our punter getting rusty, just in case.
Oh yeah.
He, I for one, I come from a place where you want to get your paycheck and you want to earn it. The fact that he didn't go out there and earn his paycheck this week concerns me a little bit, Mr. Fox. So
Well, maybe he was handing out waters to everyone, making sure they're
I
all
hope so. I
right.
hope they were putting him to work on the sideline if he's not out there punting.
Yeah.
Maybe was he the one out there helping tape up Penny Sewell's ankle
Or his knee. Yeah.
or his knee,
Probably.
whatever got banged up? So
Yeah. So let's talk about defensive side. Look, solid overall. They had 2 sacks on Mariota. Brian Branch with
Brian Branch. Oh, what a performance.
yeah, 1.5 by him, and Lopez with a half sack. I noticed throughout the game when they're running the ball, Lopez was always in the backfield, like ready to disrupt that running game. So that's a good pickup by the Lions to get Lopez there.
He gets a lot of good interior pressure. I thought him and was McNeil out there or was McNeil hurt? Because I could have swore I saw McNeil back in there too. So what a good 1-2 punch those guys were. I'm still a little concerned with Hutch, man. Like, not concerned as in like he goes way too wide for me on when he's blitz. I'm just like, bro, bring it in a little bit. I just see him like run out of my screen. I'm just like, where'd he go?
Well, it seemed like every time he's gonna get close, Mariota just fired that ball right away. So it didn't
Mariota did have some good pocket awareness today.
Yeah. The only thing I'm worried about is the rookie they signed. I don't even see him on the play sheet from the game. He's not out there a lot anymore now that DJ Reed's or Ali McNeil's back.
Are you talking about Muhammad?
Not Muhammad. Their first round pick.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Williams. Yeah, look that up. I hear clacking your keyboard. God, you type slow. Goodness gracious. No wonder these scripts take forever to get sent
Malik Williams.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, weird that he hasn't been out there a whole lot, or at least if he has, it's so tough sometimes to see depending on the angle of how the TV camera cuts, and it cuts away so fast from the defensive line. So unless we're getting pressure, or unless it's an angle where you can see the guys jumping up and trying to block passes, I can barely tell sometimes who's on the D line if it ain't Hutch or like McNeil. So
yeah, we'll have to wait for the snap count to come out. But that's a stat we gotta look out for because last game he wasn't out there a lot either. So I don't know if Ali McNeil's coming back is just he's a lot better than Tyleik Williams, but with DJ Reader, I don't think he's coming back next year. I'd like to get Tyleik Williams out there a little more, kind of take over for DJ Reader and put DJ Reader in when we really need like a run stuffer in there.
yeah.
So let's talk about penalties. Like I said, Detroit Lions 3, Washington Commanders with 8. Kind of looked like a boxing match out there, Adam. And
Oh yeah, you talk about
so yeah, Darion Payne there. If you look,
bam, right in the kisser.
Yep. Socked DJ Brown or St. Brown, sorry. And then later on, Javon Kinlaw hit a referee, did not get ejected, just got a penalty on him.
That was wild. I didn't get that at
weird.
all. Yeah.
So then there's a couple.
Sorry, I didn't know what was up with Washington. Like the Lions clearly were doing something to make them mad because Washington was getting real feisty real early. I don't know if it's because they didn't like the fact that we were getting in the end zone. Was there a little bit of smack talking happening? The Lions, a little revenge for the Lions against the Commanders after that playoff loss. So I really don't know. It was getting chippy there for the Commanders.
Yeah, especially that first half. Javon Kinlaw was getting in Goff's face and
oh yeah.
And
as soon as that happened, I was like, I turned to my wife when that happened. I said, I hope Goff scores a touchdown, then goes up to that guy and starts clapping in his face because that's ridiculous. You're down.
Well,
the Lions are marching down the field, and you have the gall to go up to the Jared Goff's face. Jared Goff, one of the nicest guys in the world, and you're just gonna start clapping in his face. Like, it was just utterly ridiculous. That's the microcosm for the Commanders game today for the Commanders.
Yeah, even the broadcast was saying, what are you doing? You guys, they're blowing you out. They're marching up and down the field. You got no reason to be doing that. And after that, the next play, they went in, scored a touchdown again.
Scorched them. Very next play. Oh, it was karma at its finest. But I never get that. The celebrate. And I was surprised that wasn't even a taunting penalty. He got right up in Goff's face.
Yeah.
What are we doing? Refs are standing around. I'm like, is that not a taunting call? Maybe that'd be a little soft, but even I was just like, dude, the fact that you're just getting into a dude's face and I don't know what he was saying. Maybe because he didn't say anything too profane, it wasn't bad, but I don't know.
Yeah. I think Dan Quinn's got to get that team in line and let them know that that's unacceptable. Because I'm pretty sure Dan Campbell did the same thing after last week's game, said, hey, we need to tighten it up here. We can't be having these bad penalties. So I don't know.
Yeah, we'll see. But all I know is that not only did bad sportsmanship come into play for the Commanders, but the commander-in-chief was in the house for this game.
Yeah.
Kyle, what'd you think? Mr. President's broadcast debut doing a football game.
I'm surprised he went up to the booth third quarter and was talking to him. They let him do a couple play-by-play analysis there. So I don't know.
What do you think? What do you think of the analysis, or would you rather plead the fifth and move on?
Let's keep it to the professionals. But he did say that the Lions, they got a good team, so I'll give him a pass.
Look, I can't remember the last time I've ever watched a Lions game where a sitting president just happened to be at the game. So, as far as a historic moment, because they said, this is only the second time a president's gone to a regular season NFL game since Jimmy Carter or something like that.
Yeah.
That was So whatever, history and whatever. Amon-Ra and a player for the Commanders did the Trump dance celebration. So whatever. And then a bunch of people booed him at the game too while he was doing his swearing in of all the new recruits or whatever what was happening on the field. So
Oh yeah.
so
Yeah, it is what it is. So let's talk about another player here. Frankie was it Lovey? I think I pronounced that right.
Luvu.
Luvu.
Lovey.
Originally he
Good
was
lord.
suspended for this game for 3 hip drop tackles. They called him out for it, said you're suspended for a game. So he appealed it, and they ended up taking that suspension away and only fining him for $100,000 and allowing him to play this game. So I don't. What do you think about that?
I mean, it is what it is. If they appealed it and they overturn it, I mean, whatever. He's the guy that hit Goff in the helmet, right? Last year during the playoff game. Like
Yeah,
that pretty dirty hit on the interception return for a touchdown. Like, so I know a lot of people were getting all up in arms about him playing this game. Like, oh, dirty player alert. I'm whatever. He made a good play during the game. He's the one that swatted the ball up in the air. It almost had it intercepted for the Commanders against Goff. So I don't know. I have no real opinion on it. He played. He wasn't that big of a factor. He had that one play that I can make note of. Otherwise, I mean, what Commanders defender has any positive things to say today, other than maybe a couple linemen who made some really good tackles behind the line? Other than that, I don't think Washington's defense had much to talk about today, other than the fact they allowed 44 points.
yeah. My only thing is hip drop tackles. They can be pretty dangerous, especially telling them, "Hey, you've had 3 hip drop tackles. We're gonna suspend you a game," and then take it back. Versus like Brian Branch being suspended a game because after the game he went up and um, hit Juju Smith-Schuster in the face, and
Yeah,
didn't.
if he got suspended one game for that, what's this guy going to get suspended for clocking Amon-Ra during a game in the face? Like, what's the fine there?
I think that's
Does
going
he
to
get
be.
suspended?
So it's not after the half; it was before the half. So he can technically come back for the next game, but I think they're gonna suspend him for more than this, the rest of this game, and then next game as well.
God, just utterly ridiculous. When I saw that, I was like, you gotta be kidding me, man. Like, what a God, during a game. What an idiot.
Yeah, I don't know. Especially those 2 guys are veterans on the team. Like you can't be
Right.
doing
That's
that
what they
stuff.
said during the broadcast. Like, these are veterans making these dumb mistakes. Like, what is he doing out there? I mean, I'll take it. None of my guys got hurt because of that. So I'll just brush it off. Be like, you guys are just dumb. It's a dumb thing to do.
Yeah. So overall, Lions spanked the Washington Commanders 44 to
Yes, they did.
22. Let's move on to next week's game, Lions versus the Philadelphia Eagles, Sunday, November 16th, 8:20 p.m. night game. So a few key stats for me. This is going to be a big test for the Lions away at the Eagles stadium. Biggest thing I want to see is can they continue this momentum from this game and carry it over? The Eagles during the whole draft process or trade deadline picked up a few key players there, making moves left and right, kind of shore up their defense. I think the Lions should be okay. It's going to be a lot tougher game than this game was. And biggest thing also, the Lions need to stop Saquon Barkley and make Jalen Hurts the sole component of them trying to win their game. If they can stop Saquon Barkley, I think the Lions should have a pretty good chance of winning this game.
Yeah, I think the key to this game is that offense has got to just keep firing on all cylinders. They can't have a wasted possession. They can't make dumb mistakes. They they got to play like they did today. On the defensive side, you got to contain Saquon, but you also now got to watch out for A.J. Brown over the top. I think this is where Hurts is going to try to unload against the Lions secondary where, Branch has been good, but our cornerback situation, Terrion went out with a concussion during the game, I think, Terrion Arnold. And I don't know when we're supposed to get Kirby Joseph back. We're still waiting on getting DJ Reed back. So
DJ Reed is eligible to come back for this game.
Okay. Well, we'll see if they do it, and we'll see how the Eagles play on Monday Night Football against the Packers. You assume right now that they're going to come out of the game with all their healthy stars intact, but you never know. It's the NFL. People get hurt week in, week out. So we'll have to wait and see how that goes. So but my big concern actually is the special teams. This is 2 weeks in a row now that, the special teams has kind of let the other team get a great return, get a great field position, at certain points of the game, crucial points of the game where, the Commanders, after we held them to 3 and out, Commanders, after we score the touchdown, they come out, they return it out to the 35, 40-yard line. Great return by them. Terrible coverage by us, and it set them up to march down the field and get a field goal. And I was like, man, if our special teams keeps playing like that, we're not going to, that's going to hurt us. Because the field position game, if our defense has enough field position to work with, they're a bend, don't break. They will make sure they can get a stop at a lot of points. So, but you give them a short field, I don't feel as confident.
Yeah.
So that's something they definitely got to work on going into next week. So I don't know. I'm leaning towards this will be a tough one for Detroit. I ain't gonna lie. My gut's saying Philly will probably, because this is gonna be a physical game too. But right now, my gut's saying maybe Philly. But depending on how they play against the Packers tomorrow night, might sway me one way or the other. If I'm still leaning Philly, or if I'd say, you know what, Detroit, if they play like they did, this Eagles team shouldn't be a problem. So we'll see.
Yeah. So, also Philadelphia is going to come off a short week too, so that should help the Lions a little bit. But like you said, special teams are struggling right now. If they kick it in the end zone, do they start on the 35 or 40?
I want to say it's the 35.
So I don't know. I'd kick it to the kickoff returner there a couple times, and if they make some big plays, I would just start kicking it out of bounds or kick it in the end zone. I wouldn't let them keep running the ball returning the ball like they have been.
Yeah, you got to figure out something. We'll have to wait and see. We do have a couple comments in the chat from Aaron Walker. Says, congrats, Lions. You beat us. I went to the game in Detroit last year, and Washington kicked your ass in the playoffs. Yeah, and Washington injured with no Daniel, no Terry, and defense is trash. The NFC is trash this year. I don't think the NFC is trash. They're definitely not as flashy as the AFC right now. But
I think the AFC is struggling versus the NFC side.
AFC's so hot and cold too. Like the Bills got whacked today.
Yeah.
Colts didn't look as dominant as people think they are. Baltimore could be surging up now. The NFL's been weird. I've been saying this for a few weeks on a couple of shows. I don't understand the NFL. Like the minute you think you understand a team, they become the total opposite the next week. Like I don't understand this Bills team at all. I don't understand the Dolphins at all. There's so many teams. I'm just like, you think you know, and then the Panthers beat the Packers. Like, I don't know. Then the Panthers lose to the Saints. Like I can't make heads or tails of the NFL this year.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. Like you're going into week 10 here, you'd figure that these juggernauts would start separating themselves from these trash teams, but it's like every single week, like a juggernaut will lose to a crappy team, or a crappy team will get a unexpected win versus someone else. I don't know. It's kind of weird this year.
It's why the NFL is great, man. It's why it's the best league in the world.
Yeah, and like the Bears this week got gifted a win because who would they play?
Today they played the Giants.
Oh, Giants. Let's throw in freaking Russell Wilson. Like unbelievable. They should have put Jameis Winston in there. Like, come on.
Look, so we work with Bears fans at work, and you work with them closer than I do, but they're becoming insufferable. Like, yes, your team's 6-2 and you're or 6-3, just like the Lions, but it's a fraudulent 6-3. And I try to keep warning them, like, the other shoe's going to drop. I don't care how many post-game pressers or post-game pep talks Ben Johnson's got to rip off from Dan Campbell. They're not the Lions. They can have their cute little trick plays, but Caleb Williams is, while talented, is not going to be long for a starting quarterback role in this league. I'm going to tell you that right now. Romo Dunze is probably their best offensive piece.
Yeah.
And DJ Moore, if they can get that right. The running game, they've had some good games, but they've been playing trash teams, man. Teams that are just banged up. And while, yes, it's the NFL, you have to beat who's in front of you, and they've done what they need to do. I think they are definitely better than they were last year. I'll give them that. Ben Johnson did change that team. I just think they're fraudulent 6-3, and I'd like to see them play a real team soon. I don't even know what their schedule looks like. They're playing a fourth-place schedule, so they got some cupcakes.
Well, they got the Vikings, Steelers, Eagles, Packers, Browns, Packers, 49ers, and Lions. So we'll see how they do in the next 4 games.
That's true. Maybe they are better than I thought they were. But until then, I'm going to say they're fraudulent still. So yeah.
Yeah, them and the Vikings, they're both bad teams.
And well, hold on, we lost the Vikings. I don't think the Vikings have a great defense. It's just I don't trust their quarterback.
Yeah. They were gifted a win last week. So anyways, let's go ahead and close this out.
Okay. Well, before we close this out, I want to remind everybody, if you missed our announcement during our weekly NFL picks show, the World of Football is going to be your home for some Michigan Arsenal Arena football content here for the upcoming 2026 season in Arena Football 1. More news should be coming. We made the announcement the other night. We are extremely excited to be bringing some cool content your way with the folks over at the Michigan Arsenal Arena football team. So, stick to the channel, like, subscribe, all that stuff, and keep your eyes peeled on the socials for stuff coming sooner than you might think. We are working on stuff behind the scenes, and it's very exciting here over at the World of Football. And don't you worry, Kyle will be nowhere near this project. He's got a lot of shaping up to do. He's on probation, so that's why we keep him here on Just Lying Around.
I'll be on the sideline sipping on a Coke.
Okay, well, we'll see about that if we even get you a pass to the game. Anyway, guys, we hope you enjoyed this week's live show and come back for more. Be sure to visit the World of Football's website, www.theworldoffootball.com, for news, links, upcoming events, original articles, videos, and more. If you want to get in touch with us, send us an email to info@theworldoffootball.com, or you can connect with us by either liking the World of Football on Facebook, following us on the X account. Those links will be all down in the description below. We also got an Instagram, a Threads, obviously, and we love chatting it up with people. Go like, subscribe to the YouTube channel, all that. We appreciate it. And any feedback, we appreciate you guys in the comments today, playing along. And that's all I got, Kyle.
All right. That's it for us this week. Lions come out with a massive win. Next game, Lions versus Eagles. Sunday night football should be an excellent game. I wouldn't want to don't miss it. I think the Lions has a good chance of coming out winning that game. But until then, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. And remember, go Lions.
Man, I can't believe he hit Amon-Ra like that. That is Bush League.
Yeah. Terrible.
All right, goodbye, everybody.